ever consider the absolute crucial or detrimental role that leadership plays in all of our lives? Great leaders have impacted me during many parts of my life. Terrible leaders have also impacted me. I've done a post before about learning from mentors that taught me what not to do. That's a great demonstration of poor leadership. And today I want to contrast three different styles of leadership. So starting off, contrasting a poor leadership dynamic is when we're dealing with leaders in our lives that hoard information, that hoard decision making, that have to be the final answer to everything, that don't value diverse opinions or diversity. Poor leadership ends with a team that can execute tasks but don't think for themselves because they're never brought up and developed or matured due to the insecurities of the poor leader. Ultimately, what happens at the end of the path of a poor leader is nothing gets passed on, and if they're not there, nothing can get accomplished. Or worse, there are poor leaders that use really poor leadership tactics like manipulation, fear, intimidation. This is all very strong evidence of poor leadership. Then there's this mid-tier leadership, and mid-tier leadership delegates tasks and trains people. They stop at getting the job well done. So the ultimate goal of a mid-level leader is tasks get done, teams are built, teams are formed, but the ultimate goal is to complete the task. And you can prosper there. There's a degree of prosperity that can come. However, as a mid-level leader, the risk is that somebody from a really good culture comes along and poaches your people, because great leadership imparts vision, and great leadership strives to develop others. Me and my business partner, about 2 years ago, we flipped a track from hiring employees to have employees and hoping that they become successful employees to really getting our arms around, we need to build our team up to be leaders. And the more that we can empower them to lead, the better scaling that we're going to have. The more vision that our team has on their own, the greater the sum of their efforts will be in our industry, in our community, and even in their own lives. As people get empowered and developed as leaders, their whole sphere of influence changes. And so that's one of our goals. Great leadership deliberately gives away authority, credit, and hard problems where nobody really knows the answer. But delegating to, hey, I need you to take some time to brainstorm and figure this problem out and come back to me with a solution. And as you do that, people, their own leadership raises. And as a result of that, their confidence raises. And if you, as a great leader, model great leadership to your people, to people that you're serving, they'll then get inspired most of the time to not only model leadership, but then model their own great leadership to others, and like multiplication happens. Great leaders measure success not by what they've personally accomplished, but by what the team has accomplished, and how many people around them have great leaders developed to be great leaders. Great leadership experiences purpose and fulfillment as employees or churchgoers develop and mature into great leaders themselves. So this aspect of great leadership is really just about serving and passing on and developing the best out of people so that they can step into their potential. And when you create that dynamic in the workplace, wow, it becomes an exciting, inspirational place. And part of my reach is also into the church. And I've been involved in churches where the pastor led in an authoritarian way and nothing happened in terms of leadership development. I've also been involved in churches like the church I go to right now, where leadership is really focused on developing leaders and passing responsibility out for other people to pick the ball up and run with it. And I think it's really important to close this by saying Christ is the one that modeled great leadership the most. So he took and mentored 11 of those 12 absolutely changed the world to the point where their impact is still happening today. So stuff for you to think about around leadership. Hope you're encouraged.